There are different systems of physical cultures in the world, and one of the physical cultures is yoga. And within yoga, also, there are different schools of yoga, the different systems of yoga. And I am a Masters of Science research student in the field of yoga therapy, and a part of my research has been to figure out which system of yoga is actually uh, the best system of yoga. And I found that the tantric system, that is the school of tantra, is the best system of yoga. And I've made this video to actually explain why the system of tantra is actually the best system in yoga. The thing is, there are so many schools and different systems of physical cultures, and even different schools of yoga in today's world. And then we have this age of internet where all these different systems are there. So oftentimes people have a hard time trying to figure out which system to follow, which to ignore and which to follow. And it becomes very difficult, it becomes very confusing. People don't know what to follow and what not to follow. So in such a scenario, it is actually best if you look at which system is the most practical system. And in this video, I will be telling you why I believe the tantric system is the best. There are various points that I'll be covering, and I'll be elaborating why the system of tantra is the best. Not just the best system of yoga, it's also the best physical culture in the world. So before that, I would like to talk about the topic of this video, which is a yoga practice class number 10. It's Yogasana or Yoga Mudra. So basically, in the last video, I spoke about the Utkat Vajrasana, where you're sitting in Vajrasana and you're stretching the spine behind, and basically you are opening up the entire torso region, starting from the lumbar region, the base of the spine, to the top of the spine, the cervical region, the neck region. So this will open up the body completely. And as you can see, if you can do this, if you're stretching the spine while sitting in Vajrasana, you can do the complement of this too, right? Wherein you are sitting in the lotus pose, where the legs are twisted inwards and then you stretch in front. So that posture would be the Yoga Mudra or the Yoga Asana. This is like the perfect complement for Utkat Vajrasana. So how are we supposed to do this? Very simple. You basically sit in the lotus pose, which is the Padmasana, and then you hold the left wrist with the right hand behind your back. So near the lower back, like this. And then you try to bring the elbows close to each other as much as possible by contracting the shoulder blades, trying to bring the shoulder blades together, opening up the chest. Then you stick your chin up and straighten your spine, straighten your neck, and then keeping the spine straight, only bend at the hip region as you sit in Padmasana, making sure that the spine remains straight. Once the chin comes as close as possible to the floor, you relax the shoulders, relax the elbows, allow the elbows to rest on the thighs like this, and then breathe out completely as you bend down like this. And in the final position, you hold the breath out. Means you exhale out completely and you hold the breath for 8 seconds. And then after 8 seconds, you breathe in, straighten the head, breathe in, bring the elbows close to each other again, and then straighten the spine. This is one round. You can, total you do 8 rounds of this, and each time you maintain it for 8 seconds. This is Yogasana. And as you can see, this is a perfect complement to Utkat Vajrasana. Now, so you can see that the Utkat Vajrasana and the Yogasana or Yoga Mudra, they perfectly complement each other. And now along with this, you can do the exact reverse of this too. Like in Vajrasana, you already know about the forward bend. So the forward stretch in Vajrasana can be easily complemented with the backward stretch in the lotus pose, which is like the complete reverse of Utkat Vajrasana and Yogasana. So like these 4 practices, if you just basically once you're twisting the legs outwards and then stretching in front and stretching behind, and then you do the same thing While twisting the legs inwards, you again stretch in front and stretch behind. So this thing is like, this will completely open up the hip joints, the entire spinal region, the whole torso region of your body will be very mobile, very flexible. And all these four practices, if you see, they don't take much time either. It's like they complement each other perfectly. So if you manage to do this, you'll reach a certain level of flexibility and mobility, which will keep your body healthy and flexible throughout your life. And also these practices, they also stretch the intestine region, so it's extremely good for the intestine and also for your digestive system. So these are the four main practices that you like. If you reach this stage, this is like a threshold. The body will reach a certain level of flexibility and health, where when like after that you won't really have any physical ailments, because the body will be so flexible. So that brings me to the point. That I was trying to make initially in this video, where I said that Tantra is the best system of yoga. So as you can see from this example itself, that indeed the body becomes very flexible, very healthy, just by practicing a few things. And also, if you see this, there are various points that I would like to discuss. The first thing is, when you're trying to figure out which physical culture is the best, the first thing that you need to look at is the speed, like how fast and how effective is the system, how fast acting is the system. And now I have actually taught this system to really stiff and unhealthy bodies, both in Bangalore also, and I have taught this in Mumbai also. And I have seen that within 1 week of practicing this, the very posture, the very way a person stands and walks, you can see a distinct difference, a distinct improvement in the way they even walk or stand. Posture itself becomes so perfect. The tummy starts tucking inwards. And you can see the difference within 1 week. So this system is actually very, very fast acting. So that is the first point why I believe practically this system has to be the best physical culture in the world. Secondly, I would like to talk about the permanent nature of the solution. Like I said, if you reach a certain level of flexibility, like if you're able to do all these practices, once the body reaches this stage, it will remain permanent. Unlike other systems of flexibility where you have to keep on hammering at your body every day to actually keep it flexible and healthy. Unlike that, this system will create a permanent solution in your body. It will make your body permanently flexible. Your body will you'll have to like really do a lot of unhealthy things to again become unhealthy once you reach this stage in Tantra. So this is the second reason why I believe this is one of the best systems, or rather the best systems. The third point I would like to make is the amount of time consumed. Like I said, I gave this example. All these four practices, for example, once you master them, it will not even take more than 10 minutes to do all these four things, and your body will remain healthy and flexible forever. So even when it comes to the amount of time consumed, it doesn't take too much time once you reach a certain stage of flexibility and health. The fourth point that I would like to make is that, again, once you reach a certain level of flexibility, you don't even have to practice this every day, or rather, you can actually practice this while doing other important things in life. There are different cultures, there are different systems of health wherein you have to spend 2 hours, 3 hours. Now, if that is your profession, I can understand you spending 2 hours, 3 hours only at the gym or at any physical practice. But in this case, once you reach a certain level of flexibility, you can be doing some other work. You can be working on your laptop or your desktop. You could be writing or doing something, or even watching television or doing some other work while just sitting in the posture. You don't even need separate time to do this. Once you reach a certain level of flexibility, you can simply sit and do something else while making sure that the body is fit and healthy just by sitting. So you you don't need separate time to do it as well. That is again another important point. The fifth point, the fifth reason why I believe this system is the best physical culture is that there are five main aspects to health and fitness. Five main aspects. There is strength, there is flexibility or mobility, there is endurance or stamina, there is toughness or the amount of stress that your body can take, and then there is agility or athleticism. All these five systems or aspects of health and fitness are taken care of solely by this system. I've been talking about the static postures. I haven't really come to the dynamic exercises which are basically the tantric dances, which are the dynamic exercises in Tantra. I haven't spoken about them yet, but once you see the whole system, you'll realize that this system alone covers all the main five aspects of health and fitness, which is strength, flexibility, endurance, toughness, and agility, which no other physical culture, you basically have to do many different things to actually cover all these five aspects in other physical cultures. But this physical culture is such that it will cover all these five aspects simultaneously. So even in that respect, this system is very superior. Then I would like to talk about the fact that this is not, I've said this before also, this is not just a musculoskeletal workout or musculoskeletal exercise. This works on your internal glandular system as well. It's an inner size, not just an exercise, but an inner size. It works on the internal physiological system, which basically the physical system, the physiological system, and ultimately through the physiological system, it will work on your psychological system too. Because after all, the body, your existence is the mind-body complex. It is a holistic approach. It will work on your body as well as the health of your mind. So in that respect too, this system is extremely beneficial as it works on your glandular system and through that your psychological system. Now the problem that happens that people would rather oppose this idea by saying that what about developing the body a little bit more, right? The thing is, you can develop, you can get a big strong body just by doing the proper yogic practices the way they're supposed to be done. Normally when people teach yoga, they don't know how to exactly practice it. If you observe the way I have taught all the practices, each practice I either say that you have to repeat it 4 times or 8 times, and every time you're supposed to maintain it for a few seconds, minimum 8 seconds and maximum 30 seconds. That maintaining for half a minute and doing it 4 times, 3 times or 4 times or 8 times, then you repeat the repetition and the time under tension. That means you maintain it with proper abdominal breathing and then you repeat it at repetition and time under tension. That together will actually lead to a tremendous change in your body. And this is where people fail. They don't see that this is how the yoga system is supposed to be followed. If you look at most of the yoga studios also, they will teach you many different practices, but they will not, there is no repetition, there is no maintaining of the posture, and that is where yoga actually is effective, when you actually repeat the posture and when you maintain the posture for a considerable amount of time. That is when the changes in the body take place, and this is what people don't know about properly, and that is the reason why yoga has taken a backseat. People think that it is not as intense as some of the other physical cultures, but in fact, if you ask me from personal experience also, I will tell you that yoga practices are even more intense than other physical cultures. It requires more effort and more dedication than any other physical culture. So in that respect also, this is the best system of physical culture. Not just the best system of yoga. Tantra, I would say, would be even better in terms of the whole physical culture, the whole physical practices that people follow. Even over there, I would say Tantra would be on top. Now, having said that, I also believe that along with yoga or Tantra, the practice of strength training is also quite beneficial, but I would still keep Tantra on top. So after talking about all these things, I would also like to add that I'm not trying to belittle or reduce the importance of other physical cultures, because after all, different people prefer different things. But as far as practicality is concerned, like I said, if a particular sporting activity or particular physical culture is your profession, then it's fine to spend 2 hours, 3 hours doing just that. But for regular common people who have other important things to do, they can't afford to give major portion of their time just for this, right? So that is when you need something which sometimes you don't even need to actually take separate time out to, like this system where you can basically be maintaining, like you can be can remain fit, maintain your health just by sitting. Something like that would be so beneficial, right? So with that, I would like to end this video. I hope I have been able to teach the different yoga practices the way it should be taught, and I hope it has benefited you. And so that's it for now. I'll see you in another video next time. So thanks for watching.